Hello. No, I'm still super tired. I worked last night, and I just got up like an hour ago, but I'm still tired. But anyway, I just want to get on here and talk about, well, just to encourage you, especially if you're waiting for something, you're waiting on a promise, or you're waiting for God to bring something to pass for you or whatever. But I just wanted to say that God is so faithful. And even in the little things, something happened yesterday. I had been wanting these shoes. It's some Michael Kors shoes, and I had been wanting them. And I actually saw them like last year around Christmas time. But I was like, I really shouldn't be spending money on myself right now. You know, it's Christmas. I should be spending money on other people. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to get them. I'll wait till they go down. Anyway, saw them again after that, like 3 months later. And they had came down. But at the time that the price came down, like I didn't have the money to get it. So I just kept saying, I was like, man, one day I'm going to get those shoes. I'm going to have those shoes. One day I'm going to get those shoes. So some time passes by. I saw them this past summer. And when I had saw them, I said, oh, there's those shoes again. And so I had the money to get them. But then they had went back to regular price. So I was like, oh, man. I couldn't pay regular price for them. I said, well, ma'am, when are they going to go on sale again? And she was like, next January, next year for the annual sale or whatever. They have like the annual New Year's sale. Dillard's has the annual New Year's sale. So I'm like, okay. I'm thinking I'm going to get them then, you know? And so last week, me and my mama was in the mall. Fast forward to this month, September. Last week, me and my mama went there, and I saw them. I said, oh my gosh, that's those shoes. And they marked them down. They finally marked them down again. And I was like, well, I thought she said they would mark them down till January or whatever. Well, anyways, lo and behold, they were marked down. So I was like, oh man, I should get it. And at the time, I had the money to get it. But God was like, no, you know, don't get them right now. Because I had other things to get. But I was like, man, I really could have gotten them. But it was like, he was like, no, don't get them. Don't get them just yet. I'm like, oh man. So I went yesterday. And I had no plans of going there, actually. I was going to drop something off to a place nearby. And so I was like, you know what? Let me go in there let me just go in there just in case, just to see what they have. And I went in there, and there they were. I said, you know what? I think I'm going to treat myself to them. I'm going to get them. They had marked them down. They were the same price as the time that I saw them before that when I went with my mama. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to get them. So I go to the man that works there. I said, hey, do y'all have this whatever in the size 8? He was like, let me go check in the back. He comes back and he was like, well, you know what? We're out of 8s. And I said, well, you know, the one on display is an 8. He was like, oh, that's our last one. And I was like, can I buy it? And he was like, yeah, let me go get the other shoe for you. So while he's doing that, I'm trying on other shoes, whatnot, or whatever. But I had my heart set on those. That's the ones I was going to buy. So he comes back, not only with that one, but he comes back with another one. Another size 8. And I'm like, what's that? He was like, oh, I have something for you. And I'm like, he's just trying to get me to spend money. And it was so me. Like, how he knew that I would have liked that shoe, I don't know. It had to be God, because God knows that I like sparkly stuff. I like bedazzle and like jewels and stuff like that. I like stuff like that, like, you know, that sparkles and that's glitz and glam. I like that. And he comes out with these Michael Kors shoes, and these were they were like bedazzled everywhere, but they were so me. Like, it just screamed Rachel. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, now I can't decide out of the two. I'm like, I can't buy both because I had a certain amount of money with me. And I was like, I had my heart set on one pair. I was just going to buy one pair. I wasn't going to go overboard because he's teaching me how to steward my money right. So I'm like, I'm not going to go overboard. I'm just going to get the one that I came in here for. And he said, these are actually 20. What? These Michael Kors shoes are $20? Not the ones that I came for. The new ones that he had showed me, the bedazzled ones or whatever. They were 20. They were cheaper than the one that I was gonna get. And I said, man. So now I'm like having to choose. And he said, you know what? I think these are marked down, supposed to be lower than what they are. And I said, no, the price says this. And he was like, He goes, he does something, he comes back and puts a $20 sticker on the ones that I wanted. So I'm like, he said, you know what, I'm going to give you these for $20. So I walked out with 2 pairs, one that I had planned on getting, but the other pair I paid $40 for 2 Michael Kors shoes. Where will you ever pay that? I'm still giddy about it. When I tell you, I walked out there so giddy, like a child in the candy store. But what I will say is, of course, God can speak to you about anything, but what I took out of that was, man, there's a timing with God. Like, oh my gosh, like, I could have got these shoes, like, last year when I could have got them really last Christmas when I saw them, but it wasn't the right timing. 1, 2, he could have been had it on sale. He could have been had that guy there and gave me for that sale for that price months ago, but he wanted to show out. He wanted to show out. And sometimes God waits to give you things because he wants to get the glory out of it, and he knows that there's an end result for it. And let me tell you, he surely got the glory out of it. But third thing that I got out of that was, I got more out of it than, I went in there for one thing, but I came out with more than, what I expected, really. And it was favor, like, just, that's like uncommon favor. And it's like, when you wait on God, that's what you're gonna get. Like, you're gonna get, for one, more than what you asked for. You'll get a better deal, and you might get something that you didn't ask for, but he knows that you like he knows that's a desire of my heart. He knows the desires of our heart. And it's like, stop begging him, stop crying to him about it. Like, he hears you, he knows you want it, but it's like, it's almost like he wanted to say, okay, be quiet, I heard you already. Like, just watch me work. Let me do my thing. Let me do my job, He knows what he's doing. It's like, let me be God. Like, I got this. I've been doing this for years. I've been in this miracle working business. I've been in this promise keeping business way before your time. I've been giving people the desires of their hearts. I'm not new to this. He's true to this. You understand what I'm saying? He been doing this, so he don't need no help in us in fulfilling things and manifesting things in our lives. And man, when I tell you, like, I was just like, you know what? I did not expect this. I just thought I was gonna come pay the sale price for it that it had on the box, and I was just gonna go in there, get my little box of shoes, and walk out. But lo and behold, he had other plans, and it was like he was saying, I had you waiting and all this time, first of all, to teach me patience and how to steward my money and save my money, because that's one thing I needed to learn. And sometimes, if we could just restrain from some things for us, if we could just hold out just a little longer, I promise you will not be disappointed. I don't even care that I waited 1.5 years for these shoes, because I don't even care how long. I don't care if I would have had to wait 5 years for them. Like, the favor in the matter, like the favor that I received when I went on that day, it don't even matter how long I waited for them. I got them for a price that nobody else paid for them. Pretty sure. And then that was the last pair. nobody paid what I paid for them. So I don't care how long I had to wait for it. I got it, and I'm so giddy about it. I'm so happy. I just want to say that he is faithful. He hears you. Stay encouraged. He hears you. He hears you. He hears you. Sometimes we feel like he don't hear us, and you got to keep reminding him. You got to keep. Let me. Maybe God didn't hear me. Let me go. Maybe he didn't hear me the last 6 months. Or maybe he didn't hear me the last 9 months. Let me reiterate it to him, because God might have forgot. No, he didn't forget. God remembers things that there are things that I prayed about, and God had brought that back to my remembrance. There were things that I had prayed about when I was 11 years old, and I'm 26 going on 27, and God brought that back to my remembrance, and I said, oh my gosh, you brought that to pass at the age of 26. And it's like, I forgot about that. I was like, I don't remember praying that. Like, I had completely forgot that I said that to God, that I had asked God for that. And it's like, we may forget, but he don't forget nothing. Like, every tear that you cried, every word, every prayer, he never forgot none of that. He hears you. He knows all of it. But he's trying to teach you something along the way. Like, let me be God. Let me do my job. Isn't it so frustrating? This is how God must feel. Because I'm a nurse. And it's so frustrating when you go into your patient's room, and especially if the family members or whoever are working in the medical field, or especially if they're nurses, but especially if even if they're not in the medical field, or even if they're not a nurse, it's so frustrating when you're trying to do your job, and the patient's family, and I get it, I know you love your family and blah, 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 but the patient's family is all on your neck trying to tell you how to do your job. They keep you know how to start an IV, but they keep asking you, how long have you been doing this? You know how to do? Let me see. Are you sure? How long you been doing? And it's like, it's so irritating. That's how God must feel. He still loves us, but it must be aggravating when we try to do his job, or try to tell him how to do his job, or rush him to do his job. It's so frustrating when you're trying to do something for your patient, and the person's family is over your neck, and they're like hovering over you, trying to tell you what to do. Like, can you back off and let me do my job? Like, I've been doing this. Like, I know what I'm doing. I know how to do this. And they're like, okay, well, and it's like, even though you tell them and reiterate to them that you've been doing this for a long time, they still have like some disbelief or doubt about it, distrust about you. And that's how he feel with us. It's like, even though he done brought some things to pass in our lives before, even though he done some things for us before, we still don't trust. Well, I know you brought me through this thing, and I know you brought this to pass, but you're taking your time on this thing right here. You're taking a little too long for me. So I might have to help you out a little bit. I don't know if you know what you're doing in this area. And he's God. Like, God must be so aggravated with us, because, like, man, like, just sometimes I think that he be wanting to say, just be quiet and let me do my job. Let me do my job. Sometimes he really have to, like, sit us down and be like, just be quiet. I know what I'm doing. First of all, I want to give you more than what you asked for. Second of all, I want to work some things out in your life. Third, it's going to bring me glory. And fourth, you're not going to care when you get it. You're not going to care how long you have to wait. Like, the wait not going to mean nothing to you. You're going to just be like, man, I can't believe, like, all this time. Like, you had this plan for me. Like, you knew all this time that this was going to happen. You knew that I was going to go here on this day. You knew that particular salesman was going to be there that day. You knew that they would only have one left on that day. You knew that he would come out and bring, like, you knew all of that. Yeah, he's God. That's what he does. That's his job description. That's what he do. And he been doing that. He don't need no help. But I just wanted to encourage you, because I'm getting hungry. I never ate nothing all day. And it's almost 3 o'clock. But he been doing this. He is not new to this. He is true to this. But I just want to encourage you that if you're waiting on something, or you just feeling discouraged, because I've been there, it's like, ooh, like, you're not hearing me. Like, you do you understand how bad I want this thing? And he knows what's best for us. He knows sometimes it may be things that he don't even want you to have, or it may be it's just in his timing. And a lot of times that's what it is. We just gotta wait on his timing. But man, let me tell you, I can't wait to put my little shoes on. I don't have them on today because I didn't want to mess them up. I was just running to the store right quick. But I'm still smiling about that. Y'all, I paid $20 for them shoes. Like, what? But that's all I want to say. And my shirt says, surprise, surprise, but my shirt says current mood. And that is my current mood. So I just wanted to encourage you today. Stay blessed and just trust God. Like, just let go and just put all your trust in God. Like, I had to learn that. I had to just let go and be like, you know what? You are God, like, over all the earth. Like, I keep wrecking myself and wrecking my brain and stressing myself out over something that I don't have control over and something that I really can't do nothing about. The only option I have is to wait on you. So let me just relax and sit back and let you do all the hard work. We make it hard on ourselves that's why he says, take my yoke upon your yoke. My yoke is easy and light. So you know what? Let me trade that for what I got because I can't handle it. So I'm gonna just relax and let you do you because obviously you're doing a good job. You're doing a much better job than I will ever do. And I'm just amazed at him, at the way he speaks to you in like different things, like, man. And so, yeah, I just want to thank him for that and give God glory. And you may say, oh, that's not that big of a deal, but it is to me. And he cares about the little things. He cares about the things that concerns us. That's how loving of a father he is. It's like, I know how much you care about these things, even if it's something small like that. Like, you know, he cares about those things. And if you don't think he does, he does. He cares about those things. And you say, oh, he's such a big God. He's such a big God, but yet he loves us and knows us personally. Like, for that man to bring out those bedazzled shoes, like, only God would have known that I would have liked that. That was something on a personal level. Like, let me throw in a little, I know she's coming in for this, but let me throw in a little extra because she had to wait for this. Let me throw in a little extra. And I know her personally. Like, I know what she like. He knows you personally. He hears you. He heard you. He been hearing you. He don't need you to keep reiterating. He don't need you to do his job. He just needs you to relax and take a back seat and watch him do his show. You know, we should be standing it's like we should go with our bag of popcorn and just sit back and watch the show and let God do his job. Let him work. Let him show out, because that's what he's going to do. That's what he does best. Just get grab you some popcorn. I don't know about you, but I love popcorn. Grab you some popcorn, some ice cream, some candy, and sit back and let him do his job. Let him do the show, because he will impress you. He gonna do more than what you thought. That's who he is.